Forget New Year, New You. This season is about slowing down, locking the doors, and cozying up at home with the one you really want to do nothing with. Your dog. After the holiday chaos, those quiet nights with a blanket, a podcast, and your pup feel like the reset you actually need. Ollie helps make those moments easier with fresh protein-packed meals made from real human-grade ingredients, so your dog can enjoy some quality comfort food too. Choose from 5 recipes and get a personalized plan for your dog's needs. Meals arrive perfectly proportioned with a scoop and storage container, so serving is fast and mess-free. And with Ollie's in-app on-demand health screenings, supporting your dog is easy, ensuring more cuddles for many years to come. Visit ollie.com/truecrime and use code TRUECRIME for 60% off your first box.
This episode of Court Junkie is brought to you by Audible.com. If you love listening to podcasts, you will love Audible.com. There's a ton of great true crime audiobooks to choose from. And for this episode, I want to recommend Missing Man, the American Spy Who Vanished in Iran. If you'd like a free audiobook and to help support this podcast, please go to audibletrial.com/courtjunkie, where you can get that free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial. That's audibletrial.com/courtjunkie.
She's been missing for 2 years.
Erica, you are very loved. You are very missed.
I think that my mom did something horrible.
Hi, I'm Jillian, and you are listening to episode 5 of the Court Junkie podcast. I want to say a quick thank you to everybody who has supported this podcast, either by subscribing, sharing, reviewing, or donating. As I've said before, I'm doing this podcast completely on my own, so every bit of support helps, including supporting this episode's sponsor, Audible.com. If you like the show, please leave me a review, and I will be forever grateful, as reviews can help a podcast get even more exposure. Now on to the show. If you thought the Casey Anthony case made you angry, just wait until I give you all of the details about this one. As you'll recall, Casey Anthony, aka Tot Mom, sparked outrage for a number of reasons, but the first one was because she never reported her 2-year-old daughter Kaylee missing. And this case I'm going to cover today is similar in that the young girl in this case wasn't reported missing until 2 years after she disappeared. And the similarities to the Anthony case don't stop there. The mother in this case is also named Casey, and she also claims a fictitious person has her daughter. This is the case of Erica Parsons. I've known about this case for quite a while. In August 2013, I came across a press release from the Rowan County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina announcing that authorities were actively searching for a 15-year-old girl who was last seen at her home in Salisbury, North Carolina. The confusing part about the press release was that Erica hadn't been seen since November of 2011, and authorities had just received word in August 2013 that she was even missing. How is that even possible, I remember thinking. How does no one in this girl's life seem to notice that she wasn't around for 2 years? And then I thought, what in the world was this girl's home life like? I was almost scared to find out. And as more details came out, and as the media picked up the story, things with this case just got even more and more bizarre. Let's start the story off with a little background. The missing 15-year-old girl's name was Erica Lynn Parsons. Erica's biological mother, Carolyn Parsons, was married and having an affair when she became pregnant with Erica in 1997. Erica was born on February 24th, 1998, and when she was just 4 weeks old, Carolyn gave her to her former brother-in-law, Sandy Parsons, and his wife, Casey Parsons, thinking she would have a better life with them. When Erica was 2 years old, Sandy and Casey officially adopted her. The house where the family lived had a lot going on. There were 6 total children, 5 of Casey and Sandy's biological children, plus Erica. Erica went to public school at first, but a reported learning disability caused her to be at least 3 grade levels below what she should have been. Sandy and Casey were reportedly homeschooling her, right up until her disappearance. As I was researching this case, I reached out to one of Erica's adoptive sisters, a girl named Brooke. I wasn't sure if she would want to talk about this case, or even talk to me for that matter, but when I contacted her, she was surprisingly receptive. Turns out she wants more exposure on this case for her sister, and she is still, to this day, trying to find out exactly what happened to her. Brooke is one of the 5 biological children of Casey and Sandy, and she's 2 years older than Erica. She was 17 years old when Erica was reported missing. She's now 20 years old and living in Concord, North Carolina. Brooke and I talked on the phone for about an hour, maybe even longer, and some of the things she told me have forever changed my opinion on this case, and I think it might for you too. What was Erica like, from what you remember of her?
She was a very fun-loving little girl. She was very sweet, outgoing. She was a girly girl. She loved makeup, doing her hair. Just a normal little girl. That was basically Erica. She loved getting into things and going and trying new things. She struggled in math, but she had got it down to where she would like to just sit there and study it until she got it. But reading was her strongest point. She was very good in reading. She loved our 2 younger siblings. She loved playing with them. But she was an amazing little girl.
Fast forward to July 31st, 2013. Erica's adoptive older brother and Brooke's biological brother, James, who was 20 years old at the time, was kicked out of the family home. And after being kicked out, James went to the Salisbury police and told them that his younger adopted sister, Erica, was missing, and that he hadn't seen her for nearly 2 years. He said he last saw Erica at their home on November 19th, 2011. He told police that whenever he would ask about Erica, his parents, Casey and Sandy, would tell him that she was staying with relatives, a story that James said he wasn't buying. He said that he decided to come forward to police after trying to find Erica himself and not having any luck. I spoke with Brooke about when she found out that her brother had reported Erica missing to police.
I was at a Jonas Brothers concert with my mom. We had actually decided that early that morning that we bought tickets and we went to the concert. We were gone all day. We left real early in the morning and left the concert, hung out there all day, and then we went on our way back. My boyfriend at the time had gave me a call, and I answered it, and I was like, hello. He was like, do you have a sister named Erica? I was like, yes, and I could barely hear him. He was like, but there is DSS asking where's Erica. And I'm sitting there, okay. But throughout the day, we had got like 2 more phone calls before that from the family and my dad saying that Janice asking where's Erica is. And then somebody else called and asked about Erica. And my mom was like, that's weird. On the way home, I wouldn't still say anything to her. And I asked her, she was like, what's wrong? Something's wrong. I was like, nothing. And I finally told her, I was like, well, DSS is at the house about Erica. And she started freaking out, panicking, crying. They're going to take my kids.
Shortly after, police interviewed Casey and Sandy about where Erica was. Casey and Sandy told police that Erica had gone to live with her biological grandmother, a woman they called Nan. They said Nan had reached out to them on Facebook in July 2011. Nan allegedly told them that Carolyn, Erica's bio mom, had given her their information so Nan could have a relationship with Erica. They spoke on Facebook a few times, and in September 2011, Casey said they all met up with Nan at a McDonald's and dropped Erica off with her so Erica could spend the weekend with her. Nan allegedly lived in Asheville, North Carolina, about 2+ hours away. Casey said that in November, Erica went to spend another weekend with Nan. Casey said Erica loved it there so much that in December, Erica was supposed to stay there for 3 weeks over the holidays. That stay was extended, and in February 2012, Casey says she got a call from Erica who told them that she would not be coming home. She just didn't want to. And Casey said that shortly after that, the phone number she had for Erica was disconnected, and Nan's Facebook profile was deleted, and so she could no longer get a hold of her. Casey said she just assumed that Erica was fine and was with Nan, whom she completely trusted. Casey repeated her story in a Q&A with reporters, with their newly acquired attorney present. Sandy was at her side, but he sat there, silent and staring straight ahead as Casey did all the talking.
Who's Nan?
Nan is her name, just like anybody gets called Grandma, and Nana, hers was Nan, and that's what Erica called her, but her real name was Irene Goodman.
And her relationship with Erica?
It's her biological grandmother on the father's side.
Have you met this woman before?
I've been talking to Nan since July of 2011, and the first time I met her face-to-face was in September of 2011.
She came here?
No, we met at McDonald's in Mooresville.
How did you meet her?
When we met her in July of 2011, it was her biological mother that had gave her all the information to contact us. And she knew all of our information. She knew our names. She knew Erica's birthday, all about, of course, Erica's biological daddy and names, and she knew Carolyn, the biological mother. She knew everything.
So the last time you saw her, though, Nan did not come to pick her up, or how did she end up leaving with Nan?
No, all 3 times we met at the Mooresville McDonald's.
Okay.
All 3 times.
Was there a particular reason why you all wanted to meet at the McDonald's?
She had a 4-hour drive, and that's actually the spot that she said that she knew, and asked us was we willing to meet there, and we've always met there. It's just that's where we went.
You're expecting her to come back?
Yeah, and we talked to her over the phone while she was gone and everything, all 3 times. But then in December, it was a 3-week. That was the longest that she had been gone, was the 3-week one. And then, of course, it wasn't right to the very dead end of the 3 weeks. They called, and she was just wanting to extend this stay. And we agreed on that after a little bit of talk. And then her birthday come up, and it come up to her birthday. Wanted to extend that, and we was going to go to a birthday party up there, and Nan was going to give it at a bowling alley. And my whole family was invited, my parents, all of us. And then it was about a week before her birthday when they called to let me know that Erica, I knew that didn't come back was going to come up anyway. I was just wondering when it was going to finally be asked, because it was hinting around longer. Stay a little bit longer, stay a little bit longer.
When you say you were invited to go there at a bowling alley?
At Asheville.
She said she didn't want to come home? Or what?
Yeah.
You tell me. What?
No, she just wanted to stay with Nan. And I, in and out of the hospitals, and even back in September when she would come home, in November when she'd come home, she always wanted to go back. She was ready to go back the very next day after she'd come back. And she loved Nan's. She'd always wanted to go to Nan. If it wasn't going, she wanted to call her, and she was always ready to go. So we agreed, okay, we'll do that, but you can stay. We wasn't ready to do no permanent signing over or anything like that. I just wasn't ready to do something like that. Because I felt like I lost her at that point, that she wasn't going to come back. But she was happy, and she loved Nan. I liked Nan. I really did. She's a very sweet lady.
A very sweet lady that she's only met a couple of times. If you're thinking that this story sounds strange, trust me, you're not alone. Within a week of that interview, Casey and Sandy appeared on the Dr. Phil show. Dr. Phil questioned them about Erica's whereabouts and even offered to give them a lie detector test. Casey was reportedly unable to take the test because she was on pain meds, but Sandy went ahead and took it. He was strongly deceptive on 2 of the questions. Did you deliberately cause Erica's disappearance? And did you have a plan to cause Erica's disappearance? Dr. Phil said afterwards that Casey and Sandy's story lacked common sense in a major way. I asked Brooke about the morning Erica went missing and when she first heard the name Nan.
My mom woke me up and said that she was taking Erica to meet Nan in Morrisville, but I had went back to sleep, and when I woke up the second time, Erica was gone. My dad was in the living room, and my mom was what we called our yard sale room, because we had an indoor yard sale. Like, people would come, and we had a lot of stuff. It was like a little shop, thrift store shop. So she was in there packing everything up because she was going to get rid of that shop because Erica was the one that run it for her. She would, like, my mom would be in the house doing something, and Erica would sit down there until people would come and buy stuff. So they were sitting there, and when I got up, she was gone. And they said that she had went to Nan's.
And you had heard of Nan before that, right?
Yeah, I have. She would threaten Erica with Nan. If you don't like it here, Nan's going to be a much worse place. And that's when she would do that. She was like, I'm going to send you to Nan's. I'm going to send you to Nan's. And that was, how long was that for? Maybe I heard Nan up to a year before Erica went missing.
And it was always like used as like a threat almost?
Yes. Yeah, it was never a good thing. Erica would, honestly, when my mom would be telling her that, she would be kind of starting to cry. I don't want to go. She was like, well, you're going to go there. And if you don't stop misbehaving. And, she would threaten Erica with that.
Casey and Sandy's two youngest children, who still lived in the home, were taken away by DSS, the Division of Social Services, shortly after Erica was reported missing. A judge would later tell Casey and Sandy that they wouldn't get them back until they produced Erica. On August 14, 2013, investigators, including the FBI, executed a search warrant on the Parsons home. The probable cause in the search warrant itself was revealing, to say the least. It states that investigators had spoken with other members of the family who all said that Erica had been abused in the Parsons home. Erica was described as very small for her age, and family members said it seemed as though she was always being punished or disciplined for something. The family members stated that Erica was always being grounded and rarely interacted with other members of the family. One family member told police that Casey had told her that she couldn't tolerate Erica, doesn't claim her as her daughter, and that she couldn't stand to look at her because she looked like Carolyn, her bio mom, someone Casey said she hates. Family members said they consistently saw bruises and bumps on Erica's arms and legs, and that Casey always blamed the marks on the other children. The warrant also quoted one family member who said that when Erica was 6 years old, Casey had called and asked if Erica could stay with them because she couldn't stand to look at her. And when Casey brought her over, Erica had bruises all over her butt. Casey told the family member that she lost control and beat her. And the family member said that Erica lived with them for 8 months and that they noticed that Erica was so tiny that she was wearing a size 3T, which, if you aren't familiar, it's basically a size for a toddler. And Erica was in first grade at the time. After 8 months, Casey came back for her, saying that she was scared DSS would find out that Erica wasn't living with her, even though she was still receiving checks from the government for her. On the search warrant inventory list, it was noted that some interesting things had been taken from the home. Pants with red stains, a plastic bag with John Benet Ramsey magazines, 2 large knives wrapped in shrink wrap, carpet pieces from the floor of a closet, drywall cut out from the rear wall of a closet, and floorboards with red stains on them. I asked Brooke about the dynamics in the household and if the abuse allegations were true.
My mom treated my sister really bad, and we all watched that, all of us kids. And growing up, for the 5 biological kids, we were giving like game systems, computers, and everything, and that was okay. But then we would sit here and watch Erica. She would get she got a DS for Christmas, and she got some things, but then she's only played with it probably maybe a couple times, and then my mom took it away and gave it to my other little sister. So growing up in the house, it was difficult at times.
On January 30th, 2014, 6 months after Erica had been reported missing, investigators held a press conference updating the public on the investigation.
We know that Erica did not go to live with Irene Goodman, which had previously been reported. I can tell you Nan just does not exist. Erica has not been seen in more than 2 years. It's time for someone to step up and come forward and tell us where we can find her.
As you know, this is a very unusual and challenging case when you have a report 2 years after someone's reported missing. It is clear that Casey and Sandy Parsons have not been truthful and provided the information that would lead to the whereabouts to find Erica. We know that there's someone out there who can help us, though, and now's the time to come forward. We also would like to hear from anyone that dealt with the Parsons family in November of 2011. As we've said before, this is the last time that Erica was seen.
So investigators clearly weren't buying the Parsons story either. Investigators later said they discovered that Erica's biological grandmother on her father's side, which is who Casey and Sandy say Nan was, had actually died in 2005, and that her name was not Irene Goodman. In short, Nan never existed, which, like I said, is another parallel to the Casey Anthony case, a fictitious person. In July 2014, Casey and Sandy were arrested, but not for Erica's disappearance. They were charged with 76 federal counts, including tax fraud, mail fraud, theft of funds, and conspiracy. They had accepted over $12,000 in adoption assistance payments from the government, even after Erica was no longer living with them. They were still collecting checks every month for more than $600 each. And they also continued to list Erica as a member of their household on other forms of government benefits, and they claimed her as a dependent on their taxes. Casey pleaded guilty to 16 charges in October 2014. The other charges were dropped as part of the deal. Sandy decided to take it to trial, and later that month he was convicted of all charges against him, which ended up being 43 total. The Parsonses were sentenced in March 2015. The sentencing hearing for the Parsons was shocking and even horrifying, to say the least. Even though rumors of abuse and conspiracy theories of what had happened to Erica had been floating around for years at this point, it was still shocking to hear it play out in a courtroom. Assistant U.S. Attorney Anand Ramaswamy wanted the judge to increase the sentences by introducing evidence of other wrongdoing, including, he said, failure to report a death, Erica's. James Parsons, Erica's adoptive brother who had reported her missing, was 21 at this point. And I have to warn you that the testimony from the courtroom that I'm about to read is pretty graphic and hard to hear. James testified that everyone in the family routinely abused Erica. He did, his siblings did, and of course his parents did. He said he himself even once broke Erica's arm. He said, "I would hit her, physically abuse her, fists, belts." He said he did it from the time he was 5 years old until he was 16. So basically, from the time Erica was brought into the family as a baby. He said he stopped because he didn't want to hit her anymore. He said he just couldn't stand it. He said his mother, Casey, encouraged all of the kids to abuse Erica, and that he often witnessed Casey beat her. He said Casey would bend Erica's fingers back and even once broke them. Casey had to put Erica's hand in a cast. He said Erica was never taken to the hospital. James said his father, Sandy, would abuse Erica too. He said Dad would hit her with his fist on top of her head. And at one point, he said Erica developed a bald spot on her head because of the scabbing. James also said that food was often withheld from Erica as punishment. He said that if she'd steal a cookie or something else to eat, Casey would feed her canned dog food, which happened about once or twice a month. He said Erica was often locked in closets in the home, and she would be beaten if she ever had any accidents in there. He said the last time he ever saw Erica was in 2011, and she had been standing in a corner as punishment. He said she didn't look too good, and that she looked like a zombie. He said Erica told him that she didn't feel good and that she couldn't breathe too good. He said the next morning, Erica was gone. His parents had left early that morning, which was unusual, and they came back after 9 a.m. When he asked where Erica was, Casey and Sandy told him that she had gone to live with her biological grandmother, something that he said didn't seem right. He said Casey looked normal, but Sandy looked like he was about to throw up. An FBI agent named Tara Cataldo also testified. She said that when investigators served a search warrant on the Parsons home in August 2013, they found holes in the wall beside a bedroom closet that seemed to be from an old locking mechanism. Cataldo testified they also found traces of Erica's blood and other DNA, believed to be from saliva or urine, on carpeting and wall boards from the closet. There were 5 photos recovered from the home, and all of them showed Erica standing in a corner on different days. Prosecutors also called a woman to the stand who testified that she had hired Casey Parsons as a surrogate to carry her baby. She said that Casey told her she had miscarried, and then she tried to turn around and sell the baby to somebody else. She confronted Casey, and when Casey finally did have the baby, she was able to take the baby home with her. Prosecutors were trying to show that Casey was manipulative and was a bold liar. Janet Parsons, Sandy's stepmother and Casey's mother-in-law, also testified at the sentencing hearing about the mistreatment of Erica. She said Erica was treated like a little Cinderella, always having to do all of the chores. And Robin Ashley, Casey's sister, testified that Erica had stayed with her for a short period of time because Casey told her that she didn't want to kill her. Casey told her that she lost control and that she didn't want to end up killing Erica. U.S. District Judge Thomas Schroeder didn't hold back when sentencing Casey and Sandy. He said, "You and your husband did something horrible, horrible with her. What happened to her is known only to you and God. In the dark of the night, you did something to her." Judge Schroeder said he was giving them stiffer sentences because of all the testimony about abuse Erica suffered in the home. He said, "I have sentenced close to 1,000 people, and I can't think of a case that has troubled me more." Judge Schroeder also said that he didn't believe the Parsons story about Erica having gone to live with her grandmother. He said, "It doesn't pass the smell test." To Casey, he said, "By all appearances, you were the brains of this operation. In my view, you are morally bankrupt." And to Sandy, he said, "I cannot fathom the hatred you had for this little girl. There was just a little girl who wanted to be loved." He sentenced Casey to 10 years in prison and Sandy to 8. Brooke thinks her mother is mainly responsible for Erica's disappearance, and I wanted to know how she felt about her mom getting out of prison in just a few years. Are you scared at all for when she comes out?
Yeah. I've told everybody that. I'm like, I hope she never gets out. I love my mama. I love her until the day I die. That's just the way I am. I'm not going to hate her, but I disagree with everything she has done.
Both Casey and Sandy filed appeals, saying that their sentences were too long and that they were really being sentenced for something that they had never been charged with, Erica's disappearance. Both of their appeals were denied. Sandy then appealed his sentencing to the Supreme Court, and in June 2016, the Supreme Court straight up refused to even hear the case. I asked Brooke if she's seen her parents since they've been in prison, and I asked her another question that I wasn't sure if she would answer, and I was pretty shocked when she did. I asked her if they've ever said anything about Erica while in prison.
I don't talk to my mom because since she's been to jail, that's when I really actually found the truth out about my mom, about who she really is. She didn't really care about her any of her kids, and she would just write me for money and everything. And she got mad when I didn't send it, so she wouldn't talk. But I do talk to my dad every now and then. I haven't talked to him lately. I think the last time I talked to him maybe was 2 months ago. But We talk very rarely, but I do keep contact with my dad. I went and seen him because he's local.
And have either one of your parents, and I guess since you don't really talk to your mom, has your dad ever said anything to you about Erica, like where she is or what happened or that he knows?
No, he won't say anything. He would just because he don't like me asking him questions about the case. So he'll just tell me, well, talk to your mama. Go talk to your mama. And if you want to know. He was talking a little. He would open up each time about the case to us when we would go up there. And we finally went up there and he opened up a little bit more in saying that we're going to be shocked when she's found. I mean, we took it as she's going to be somewhere we've already searched or be somewhere that was right under our noses and somewhere that is plain view. So my aunt was even thinking, you don't think she's going to be under my house, or so it's been like playing in our minds. What does that mean? What does that mean?
But you definitely took it to mean like a deceased Erica.
Yeah, he wouldn't talk about it much, but I asked him. I was like, because I mean, it was bothering me, and I wanted to know, like, in which way should I start looking for Erica? Should I just keep looking for her alive, or what? At that point, when I went up there, that time that I went up to my father, and I was actually there before I came there, I was thinking Erica was still alive. Well, after I left there, I didn't have any more hope that Eric was still alive. I asked, he wouldn't really say anything. He kept cutting me and my aunt off, and we just kept asking questions, and he would just say, shut up, shut up, shut up. And he would just say, I asked him, is Erica, and that's all I said. And he finally shook his head because I told him, I was like, I want to know, I have to know. I deserved at least that answer. And I just asked him, is Erica? And he shook his head, yes. And I said, did Mom? And he shook his head, yes. So that's all the answers I needed to know at that point, that to know if Erica was alive or if she was gone.
My heart sank when she said that Sandy nodded his head when Brooke asked, is Erica? And then again when she essentially asked if Casey was the one who did something to her. When I first started researching this case, I was hoping that there was a possibility that Erica had run away or that maybe Casey and Sandy had sold her. But after talking to Brooke and hearing her talk about what her dad said to her while in prison, I think any hope that she might be still alive is pretty much gone. And then what do you think happened to Erica?
I think that my mom did something horrible.
Brooke said her parents still talk to each other while in prison, and that as long as they're in touch, she doesn't think her dad will ever turn on her mom. She told me she is scared, however, that her mom might try to pin it all on her dad, or maybe even her brother James. As for where to look for Erica, Brooke said she has no idea. She said she's thought of everything, other relatives' houses, cemeteries even. I would be lying if I told you that researching this case didn't bring me to tears on multiple occasions. It's hard to imagine that the only family Erica ever knew was horrible to her. I spoke with the lead lieutenant in the case, and I asked him if there were any updates he could tell me about. He said they're still actively investigating and are still developing and following leads. Casey and Sandy might be in prison now, but if they aren't charged in Erica's disappearance, they will be getting out. It's almost a race against the clock for investigators. Erica was 4.5 feet tall, about 85 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes when she went missing. There are age progression photos of Erica, of what she would look like now, done by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. There's also a $50,000 reward for information leading to her whereabouts. If you have any information about where Erica is, please call the Rowan County Sheriff's Office at 704-216-8700. If you want to hear my full interview with Brooke Parsons, I'll be posting it on my website at courtjunkie.com/podcast. Click on Erica's episode. And that's all for this episode. If you have any feedback or topic ideas, please email me at podcast@courtjunkie.com or visit my website, courtjunkie.com/podcast. A special thanks to Brooke Parsons for sharing Erica's story with me, and thank you to all of you for listening. If you want to help support this podcast, you can go to my donate page at patreon.com/courtjunkie. You can donate as little as $1 or even $1 a month. Or you can visit audibletrial.com/courtjunkie and sign up for a free 30-day trial. That helps out this podcast too. And as always, you can find me on Twitter at CourtJunkiePod or on Facebook at CourtJunkie. I'll be releasing 2 episodes next week. An update episode about the conclusion of the Melissa Kaluzinski case. A ruling is supposed to come down on Friday. And then a brand new episode after that. Thanks for listening.